citizens and for the cities, Lord. Please bless our citizens, bless our first responders, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Chair Lomneck.
Here.
Vice Chair Forges.
Here.
Member Keller.
Here.
Member Chacon. Member Galvin.
Here.
Member Butler.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Consent agenda. Can I get a motion for the minutes of May 14th?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of May 14th by Member Keller and a second by Member Forges. Please vote.
Yeah, man.
We get everybody? Oh, sorry. I voted. That's all that matters. All right. Perfect. That carries. Okay, no old business. New business. This is going to be Fountains West PUD. This is a second substantial amendment to Lot 8 of the Fountains West PUD planned unit development. We do have a lot of folks here tonight, which I'm excited about. We have a lot of speakers. Everybody is going to get 3 minutes to speak, okay? And we're gonna let the applicant speak, and then we'll open it up. So, zoning manager Whitfield.
Yes.
Chairman, just want to say for the new alternate member, because we were missing a member, he is a full member.
You're up
until
tonight.
if that alternate member shows up, so he can vote until.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, and thank you. So this application is the Fountains West PUD Lot 8 substantial amendment. The question is whether or not the Planning and Zoning Commission should make a recommendation of approval for the proposed amendment to specifically Lot 8 to increase the maximum building square footage for retail use from 18,000 square feet to 24,932 square feet, increase of 6,932 on the property assigned, well, that parcel ID number. The property is located on the north side of Fountains West, is approximately 342 feet north of West Road, just a little bit over 3 acres in size. The future land use is currently commercial with a light industrial. This is an aerial of the property from 2022. The surrounding future land use categories, the surrounding zoning districts, so the entire area is a PUD, planned unit development. Just as a little bit of background, the Lot 8 in its original form from 2006 is this highlighted yellowy, orangey area. And the use at that time was not retail, I believe it was church use. In 2018, Lot 8 received its first amendment, substantial amendment, and what that amendment did was increase the list of allowable uses from previously church and childcare to include all these other uses, to include retail, right here that I highlighted in orange. What's not shown here is that there was a plat done for Lot 8, so now there's 3 separate lots inside of Lot 8, and this subject property is this area here. The self-storage is its own lot, and then this is a separate site. And as part of that 2018 amendment, when the use table got changed to allow those additional uses, the retail was added, but it was capped at 18,000 square feet, plus or minus. This plan shows what the applicant team is wanting to do now. The self-storage is here, the retail building is here, and what they're proposing is 24,932 square feet, utilizing the existing entranceway and this driveway. It looks like a road, but it's actually just a driveway, and it goes back to the back. So other than the parking, all the infrastructure is existing. The stormwater is existing. And this is their proposed land use plan. Based on, they've also submitted a small-scale site plan concurrent with this. So far, the staff hasn't identified any major red flags with respect to the site plan. but it is pending this rezoning amendment. Understanding that traffic is a concern, in terms of traffic, the original land use, the original First Amendment in 2018 was for the self-storage. When that traffic analysis was done, the uses that were contemplated at that time was the self-storage facility, a 20,000 square foot childcare center, and a fire station. And it was going to go into 2 phases. The traffic from both phases would have caused some traffic concerns. So in lieu of trying to resolve the traffic concerns at that time in 2018, the approval was just for the self-storage, which as a use had less of a traffic generation than the childcare. And the condition of approval from that 2018 substantial amendment was that as new projects came on board, they would have to deal with traffic as each project comes in. So with this one, even though the entitlement that is increasing is 6,000 and change, the project as a whole has to look at its own traffic analysis. So that's why I wanted to specifically show this slide. Based on guidance from our traffic consultant, we're using ITE code 815 and not this 53.87 trip generation rate. It's actually a fitted curve, which is a 74 trip per 1,000 square feet. The AM and PM peak are the same for a basic 815 code, which is a freestanding discount store. But the trip curve, the fitted curve, actually has a higher trip generation rate at 1,856, and that is for the entire 24,932 square foot building, not just the 6,000 square foot addition. And then just comparing that to the phase 2, lot 8's development of a daycare at 20,000 square feet, that SIC code, it has a lower trip generation rate, but it has a much higher AM/PM trip generation rate. So if you look at it from the perspective of daily, it's not the same impact as it would be if it were AM/PM. So for childcare, if childcare were to remain, they would actually create a higher demand on roadways at the AM/PM time period. So AM/PM is 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and then they collect the highest counts within a 1 hour block. This table here, we have, so for purposes of the new commission members and the audience, the city maintains a concurrency management system with our traffic consultant. And what that system is a series of traffic count stations that are located throughout the city as well as Orange County. The county conducts those counts on an annual basis. DOT also has count stations in our jurisdiction, and they do their counts also on an annual basis. And what our consultant team does for the city is it looks at the background traffic, so everything that's built. Vested traffic is everything that's been approved and in the queue where they've gone through city commission approval, and now they're just waiting for permitting and construction. So what I've provided here is a table that shows the 2023 traffic counts, plus all the vested projects that have been approved as of the beginning of 2023. And then the childcare, there's some, for this project, there is some vested trips on lot 8, there are some vested trips. So taking into account the 2023 traffic counts, the vested counts, the project trips less the vested trips that are for lot 8 specifically, that is these numbers here. So that's basically adding this 1856 as a daily number to each of these numbers. Well, these numbers includes this 17 plus that 18 to equal this 18,000. The service volume is this column here, and what the service volume is the volume of traffic that roadway, each of these segments, was designed to accommodate. And that is based on the level of service that's adopted by the city for Ocoee Road, for the 4 segments there, West Road, which is the county's road, like Ocoee, that's a county facility, and Clarkona and Cody roads, the road segments. So based on staff and our traffic consultant team's evaluation, the 24,932 retail square footage based on 74 trips per 1,000 square feet, which is a much higher rate than the regular trip rate. There are no anticipated segments that are operating below the adopted levels of service with respect to the city's adopted standards, which is not necessarily the same thing as a perceived standard when you're sitting at a traffic signal. Even though this rezoning isn't going to cause any new deficiencies, the applicant, this property owner, is obligated to pay its proportionate share of the cost of the traffic signal that has to date been warranted by Orange County and is planned to be funded and constructed by Orange County with funds assimilated by the city for the projects that have been built on Desert Candle and West Road up to this point. So those dollars that have been collected to date are going to go towards the city's contribution towards the traffic signal. And in terms of the amendment, we also looked at the utilities. Our utilities department has approved the increase in square footage. Stormwater, again, has already been addressed when the ponds were constructed as part of the self-storage facility. Parking does comply with our requirements, which is 1 space per 200 square feet. And then traffic, I just touched on earlier. Again, although they're not causing any new trip failures or road capacity failures, they will be obligated to pay their proportionate share. The DRC met on this item on May 7th, and they made a recommendation of approval. And staff is also making a recommendation of approval to increase the square footage for Lot 8 from 18,000 square feet to 24,932 square feet for a retail building. And the applicant team is here, Mr. Chair.
Great, thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for staff? All right, we'll open it up to the public. We'll bring the applicant up.
Hello, my name is Ed Durkee. I'm the CEO of Goodwill Industries of Central Florida. I live at 621 Hillcrest in Orlando. Thank you to staff for presenting the project so well. And thank you also to the staff for helping our team get to this point. You've done an excellent job of explaining the issues present with the project and here in the city of Ocoee. I'm also here with my deal team, project team, briefly introducing them. Kelly Kleppen, who will describe the building in just a minute. She's our architect. Michael Clary is our development consultant, former board member for Goodwill Central Florida. And then Larry Gabry is our vice president of real estate and facilities, former general contractor who now helps us build our buildings and expand our mission. We will use the project to expand our mission of building lives that work. First expression of the mission that we have is the quality of the jobs that we create. So the jobs in this store are not your typical retail jobs. They're much higher quality. And of course, most people know what our business model is. We take in things, donated items that people don't want anymore. When we run those through our retail process, we identify the items that can sell those to the public, create the best possible jobs we can through that, and we recycle everything that we possibly can that's donated but not sellable. A quick fact about how our business works, kind of a unique feature, is we receive a lot of donations from the public. This store would probably see about 80 donations a day. That's some of those trips mentioned in the traffic count. Of the items donated to us, about 25% of them actually sell in the store. The other 75% are either not good enough to sell in the store or for whatever reason people don't buy them. So as part of our zero waste initiative, everything that is not sold in the store is hauled to a central facility on the south side of Orlando down by the Turnpike at South OBT and Apopka Vineland Road. So that's part of our zero waste initiative is we need the space necessary to process those items. Things that don't sell are put on trucks and taken off and then taken to that large facility in Orlando and commoditized and sold into commodities markets and recycled. So the size of the building is an important part of being able to execute both the creation of the jobs, keeping them safe, and implementing our zero waste initiative. Having said that, I'm going to introduce Kelly Kleppen, our architect, talk about the features of the buildings that we're putting up now. And I'll be happy to answer any questions about our purposes behind the building and how we use it.
Hi, my name is Kelly Kleppen. I'm an architect with SLAM Collaborative. I live in City of Orlando in Baldwin Park. I have been working with Goodwill for a lot of years now, and one of the reasons I continue this is because they have a true, sincere desire to be a good neighbor, to be responsible to the environment, and to really kind of change the perception. We've all grown up with a certain perception probably of Goodwill, even from in Central Florida many years ago. But this Goodwill is run independently across just 6 counties in Central Florida. It's not like, so you can't really compare it. You won't find another Goodwill that's run the same way. And as part of, from the design standpoint, we've really tried to create architecture that is attractive in the community, that's safe, that's welcoming environment. So we've addressed sort of the way that the building looks, and buildings similar to this down the street in Winter Garden, also in Lake Nona and Vieira, and it's very similar to what we were proposing for this location. So some of the things we do is try to make that donation experience really safe and friendly, where the donation canopy, there's a porte cochere that's covered, someone will come out and get your goods, and it's visible. You're not driving behind the back of an old shopping center. You know, we're trying to really create an environment that's safe and welcoming for customers, visitors, and staff, because that's really part of the mission. And I just want to reiterate what he said about zero waste. Everything gets used in one way or another. So we strive to develop the site so that nothing is left out. We try to make it so that everyone feels welcome. And the size of the building really is not about having more people and more retail. Like, just to reiterate what he said, was that extra size is really about creating that, that's the processing of goods. It's not necessarily a bigger retail. So our proportion of retail space is probably smaller than any other typical retail, because a lot of that, over a third of that building, I think it's like 9,000 square feet of the 24 is going to be just for processing, so it's just staff. So we are interested in hearing your concerns and questions, because we do, in fact, want to be a good neighbor and be responsive to that, any concerns and questions that you have. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody have any questions for the applicant? Nope. Talking about the board. Not yet. I don't know. I know you guys have questions. Not there yet. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
I'll hold on till the public
Okay.
shares their opinion.
All right, we have some public comments. We're going to start with Kelly Beck.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Beck. I'm the president of the Greens at Forest Lake Homeowners Association, representing 198 homeowners and an estimated 500 residents in our community. We are the community that is going to be a quarter mile from this, directly going through that intersection and that four-way stop at this facility every single day. So I would argue that we're probably going to have the greatest impact from this Goodwill going in. We have a lot of concerns from our residents and homeowners about this. It's interesting you referenced it being different, because there's 6 of them, considering the Winter Garden store just closed all their dressing rooms due to theft. So not exactly the type of environment that we want to have across the street from an elementary school and down the street from our homes that we're going to, again, that we have invested in as our property. So I just want to start with, our entire community is in opposition to this. We do not want this being built. Talking about Goodwill's mission, my understanding is most of these positions are going to be $16 an hour. These are not high-quality jobs. They're barely making above poverty wages. And Goodwill, as a larger corporation, has a horrible corporate record for paying fair wages. Introducing businesses to our community that result in people not having livable wages is not how we improve Ocoee. It's not jobs that people want. Additionally, and my biggest concern with this is totally in misalignment with the PUD design for our area. I've been at multiple city meetings where I kept hearing that Fountains West was designed as a walkable community. That was the whole point of it. By doing Greens at Forest Lake, Magnolia Reserve, the Arbors, Renaissance Charter School, all of us were supposed to have that walkable space with the walking trail, with a West Orange bike trail, and then into that public plaza. I've heard that again and again and again. This PUD was a walkable community. Yet somehow adding 25,000 square feet, 125 parking spaces of retail and warehouse logistics space is contributing to this PUD and reinforcing this as a walkable community. There are kids that cross that intersection daily going to school from our community and in Weston Bay and the surrounding communities that are waiting there for their rides. That whole area has constant traffic, and the thought of 1,800 more cars daily going through not just the broader intersection where hopefully it sounds like there might eventually be a traffic signal, but that four-way stop intersection is going to be absolutely brutal traffic impact for the community, for the school, for the apartment complexes, et cetera. The misalignment with the PUD design, the broader traffic concerns, the fact that we're referencing numbers from 2018, I do understand that you did include Magnolia Reserve being built and Greens at Forest Lake being built in the updated numbers, but that's all from years ago. That area is totally different now than when it was originally developed. I'm also concerned that this location doesn't make sense. We have one in Apopka, we have one in Winter Garden right down the road, and the Winter Garden one is on Highway 50. It's not in the middle of a residential area, it's in an area that is designed to have high flow of traffic right off of 50. And so now you're also putting it in the middle of an area where the average home price is over $500,000. Goodwill does have a place in the community. There are people that rely on it as a resource to be able to furnish their homes, get clothing, get resources that they don't have access to. I'm not opposed to bringing something like this into an area where people need it, but you're putting this building furthest from the people that need it the most. And so now you're only generating more traffic because now the people that need that resource are forced to drive to it because they don't live in the area where that resource has been placed. I'm also concerned that the increased building size, and I know I'm almost out of time here, is going to 25,000 square feet. That's nearly a 40% increase in the current PUD design. This isn't a small change. 40% is a massive increase. And I'll just wrap by saying, again, I represent 200 homeowners, 500 residents. This is not what we want in our community. It doesn't add value. It doesn't improve our community. It makes it worse.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Greg Kiefer. Gregory Kiefer, you're up. We got a twofer? Sir, just make sure you fill out a comment card too.
He may not speak, so.
No problem.
I'm Greg Keithler. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of Weston Bay. Carl is the president of the Board of Directors. And we're here tonight to address this proposed store. We have almost 700 residents, 800 residents, residences represented. So, and we're fairly close, right across the street from the one that just got up here. So we have a lot of impact here. I'd like to ask a question to the proponents. What is the demographic that drove you to put that store right there?
You need to continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, please address your comments to the board.
Okay.
And
all right, I'll do that. So that's the question. And the context is I cannot recall in the last 19 years that I've lived in Weston Bay anyone saying, you know, it would really be great if we had a thrift store in our neighborhood. Have you, Carl? No. So I don't think there's a overwhelming demand. The economic basis of the area is fairly high. It's not the kind of populace that I would think populates or patronizes such a store. But how big now is 25,000 square feet? I wanted to find something I could reference that would help you imagine that. 25,000 square feet is 5 NBA basketball courts. That's huge. That's a lot of area. And the 75% of everything that goes in there is not going to be displayed in the store. It's essentially an industrial scale salvage operation with semi-trucks regularly coming in and picking up huge loads of things that don't sell in the store or won't sell in the store. So it's a industrial facility in disguise. The store is just ancillary. The store isn't going to make or break that location. It's the gathering all those clothes and being able to sell those on the open market, commoditize it, as the man said. Commoditizing means it gets sold on the world market and ends up in places in the world where we see on TV that they're inundated with all these extra articles of clothing. This thing does not have a place in our community. It's outsized compared to what everything else is around it. It's not a store. It's a store in name only. It's really a logistics facility for sorting these goods that come in. So let's just call it what it is. It's industrial, and it doesn't belong in that shopping center at all. Anything you'd like to add?
I don't know if I can speak. Am I?
You can, as long as you fill a form out.
Oh, for one of these forms?
Yeah. You can fill it out afterwards.
As the president of the Western Bay community and represent over almost 800 homes, and we're one of the first big development in that area. When we bought in that community, we bought because we want to be away from things. And now we're using, those areas to start bringing more industrial places around us, which that makes us uncomfortable. Because that's not why we bought out in the northern part of Ocoee for. We could have built our house and buy it down here in 50, but we didn't choose to do that. And for you to bring in a commercial complex like that, which I don't have anything against the company because I know what they stand for, but that's not the place for it. And I wish they could keep it out on Highway 50 where you got all the traffic from Orlando to Claremont. I mean, to stop there and buy and do whatever we want to do. But to bring it right back there, I think it's going to create a big problem to the community. And the reason for that is the traffic. Our traffic is a mess right now. To get out there at 7 o'clock in the morning and get, in the afternoon hours, is terrible. So what are we going to do about our traffic? And now we're going to bring more to impact what we already have there. So that's why I'm against it.
Let me say one more thing, Carl. I didn't mention one thing I wanted to add, which was these places are famous for people coming in after hours and dropping things off and just leaving them. You don't have to look far online to find people that give examples of that, after example of that. So that's another issue that we don't want in our community.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stephen Bressler.
Good evening, everybody. Dear members of the Planning and Zoning Committee, my name is Stephen Bressler. I am an HOA board member with the Preserve at Crown Point. I represent 303 homes across the street from the Ocoee High School. I'm here to express my worries about the proposed goodwill. We've already had a noticeable amount of homeless people and trespasses from the walking trail, from West Orange Trail. Adding the goodwill will add to these numbers. If the Goodwill opens being 25,000 square feet building, it will add more traffic already in a high traffic area with the Renaissance School, townhomes, and apartments. And then they're also adding the elementary school right next to our community, right across the street from Ocoee High School. Considering the existing two Goodwill locations close to Ocoee, I urge you to explore other options. Everyone living close to this location took a gamble in the benefit of Ocoee, and we ask you to take a gamble on a different business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to say this last name. I'm going to say his last name wrong, but Lawrence. I apologize, sir. Okay. How do you pronounce it? Jrom. All right.
Good evening. I represent Forest Brook and Forest Brook Estates. 391 homes. I'm on the board of directors. I happen to have been in development for many, many years, so I'm very familiar with much of the things I could say, which you've heard a million times. Traffic's gonna be a nightmare, this and that, but there are some real questions that I want to bring up. One is the demographics of what they're looking for in terms of supporting their store don't seem to fit the demographics of what this whole neighborhood is. Everywhere, Forest Brook, Weston Bay, all these communities around there are in a different demographic. Every Goodwill that I've ever experienced seems to have been built on a major highway. West Road is not a major highway. The other problem with the traffic is, other than 429, there's no north-south access other than the Ocoee-Popka Road that's nearby. And that's already a nightmare. How do I know that? Personal experience. I drive it every day. And it is a nightmare, and it's not gonna get any better with all the trucks that are gonna be coming with all the commercial developments that's going along Ocoee-Popka Road, which is great because it adds to our tax base. So that, I think, is one of the overriding things that you need to consider. For the foreseeable future, our lives are gonna be, all the homes in there are gonna be adversely affected because you're adding more retail traffic for a location that should be located on a major highway somewhere. They all are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Anybody else in the public want to speak? All right, we're going to give the applicant a chance to come back up. And I think some board members have some questions, if you'd like. And maybe address some of the concerns the citizens have spoke about.
So I heard one question from, how we do our demographics to find it. We look at 5-mile shopping sheds. And this one tested very, very favorably. Don't know what else to say beyond that. It's going to be an excellent location for a retail store. So that's one reason why we selected it.
I wrote the questions down so I can.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm Michael Clary. I've been on the board for Goodwill. Actually, I termed out after 10 years. I'm an architect and a developer. I've served as a community association president, so I kind of have. I like the passion when people care about their community. But a couple of things. One, wages. Quite frankly, Goodwill for retail pays more per hour than most any other retail. We only hire full-time, which means they get full benefits. We pay for education. So it's not your typical Target, Walmart, Ross. These people make more per hour. They're all full-time with health insurance. And as I say, we'll pay for their education. When we look for a store, we look at 3 things. We look at trips, which is number of passing by kind of on the road. We look at distance from our closest, which the closest one is 7 miles. As Ed mentioned, 5 miles is kind of our circle of interest.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you real quick.
Sure.
You said 7 miles. There's
7 miles. The Winter Garden is 7 miles from this site.
Isn't there a Goodwill shop on Silver Star in Hiawassee?
Larry?
Okay, yeah, there's a Goodwill on the corner of Silver Star and Hiawassee, which is 2 miles away.
That's an outlet, so, okay, we don't treat that the same way.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think most people were talking about it was mentioned that the one on Colonial is so close. We look at household income and number of households within a 5-mile radius. There was concern, which we have concern about, people dropping off stuff, people hanging around, no question. We don't have dumpsters for that exact reason. That's why we have zero waste. We have trucks that come. We schedule the trucks so they don't conflict, hopefully, with your traffic, to come and pick up the waste. And to, as we mentioned, we well light and we canopy the drop-off, so hopefully discourages people from doing what we're talking about. We don't like it either, but we try to limit that. This is an accepted use. I'm not sure what use people want there. Retail is an accepted use here. We mentioned it is a bigger store, but it's not a bigger sales floor than what's approved because of, as we say, the operations in the back. We will pay our fair share for the light. We've already talked about that. And it's been mentioned that it's less traffic than a daycare. There's other uses that have more traffic than a Goodwill. We don't open till 9. Those are some of the questions trying to answer that they came for us. So.
Great. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant?
Excuse me. Can I have a rebuttal over something that they just said in opposition to what I said?
No. I'm going to close the public hearing at this time. I'm sorry. I think we gave everybody the right amount of time to speak, and they didn't have any other questions for the applicants. So, does anybody have any other questions for staff?
Well, yes, I thank you all for coming. If I had to rebuttal everything you guys said, some of you may not like what I would have to say. However, the area is zoned for retail. Having a storage facility right next door and making an exception to add initial 6,000 square feet to make it a bigger, more or less another, looks like a facility store, like a Goodwill, is not something that I'm likely to be in favor of. But definitely not for all the reasons that you guys say. They do bring jobs. There will be traffic there regardless, because something will go there eventually. I'm just not gearing towards increasing the size of a Goodwill to bring it there. But whether we like it or not, there will be traffic there soon because it has to be used as private property. It will be used eventually. But for me, not this use. That's all.
Anybody else have any other questions or comments? No, sir. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'll make a few comments. I think, there's a light that needs to go there for sure. Those lights aren't $200,000 or $300,000 anymore. They're millions of dollars now. So that's important. But I want to say everybody that came up here tonight, you guys had a lot of questions about traffic and how Ocoee Popka Road is and the 429 and Clerico and Ocoee. And you're right. There's a lot of traffic there. I think every one of you should be calling Christine Moore and asking her how she is going to help us make those county roads better for our traffic into Ocoee. They're coming in from Apopka. They're coming in off 429. They're not our roads, right? So what are we supposed to do? Stop building until those are fixed? We can't fix them. We need help. Please take this passion and go to the county and tell them we need help. But anyway, on that note, I will take a motion for recommendation for approval or denial.
Mr. Chair, I make a recommendation to deny this proposed change. I'm sorry, where's the number? I don't have the agenda. RZ.
ID.
What's the ID?
06228.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. In the middle there.
Correct. I don't see it.
Parcel ID number 06.
Oh, parcel ID number 062228286301-0000.
Thank you. I have a recommendation for denial. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay. I have a recommendation for denial by member Forges and a second by member Keller. And
Just reminder, voting yes means you agree to deny. Voting no means you do not want to deny it.
yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody have any other questions? All right, let's vote. All right, the motion carries 3-2. And I'm going to go ahead and say why I voted no to deny. I think all of you had great comments, right? And I agree with every one of you. But I don't know. I think it fits that mold there. But you guys had good voices. I'm glad you came out tonight. It was a good process. So, recommendation for denial was approved 3-2.
I just want to, my mic off. Just a point of clarification, the 18,000 square foot is approved. So just for the audience's understanding, they do have the option of moving forward with 18,000 square foot Goodwill, if that is what they decide to do. So this is not a decision to do away with the Goodwill. They do have the 18,000 square feet already entitled.
And if I
And
can,
the first reading, this will go to the city commission as a first reading next Tuesday. It's an ordinance, so it goes to commission twice. The first reading is just the city attorney reading the title. The actual hearing will be July 16th, and that is the actual public hearing for any further comments from the general public.
All right. Did you want to make a comment?
no, that's all, just,
Okay.
just to sound back, what she says, that is my reason for denying it, is because I'm not willing to give them an additional 6,000 square feet, for the store, but it does fit, the zoning.
All right. Next thing up, we have miscellaneous project status report, Director Services rumor.
Nothing of interest to report as of right now. We have received the Ocoee Regional Sports Facility. It's under review. It's going to be a process. It's a large, super large scale land use amendment, and we've begun as staff reviewing that and look forward to down the road bringing something forward there. As you can see along State Road 50 with the Hudsons and other items, we are getting some development finalizing there, as well as Ocoee Popka Road. We have development happening there, and the city is been meeting with the county. We're discussing things like Ocoee Popka Road and items like that. So, entertain any questions on specific projects.
I asked you last time about, and I know I asked you about the Main Street reopening. Is I know there's some issue about some right of ways.
It's the project that is called City Center West Orange. About 90, all the infrastructure's in. It's in their long pause or whatever they're doing for not developing. Some of that will have to be certified and inspected, and they have a lot of punch list items to do. I do not have anything official to report. I haven't been told anything official. There is some financing or foreclosure type deal, but you have multiple entities. You have a CDD that has control of the land, and you have the entity that was City Center that had put in the foundation work, and so nothing new to add. Main Street, which is constructed to a level of a first lift of asphalt and curb, a majority of it is under that private ownership. So we cannot open that section of road because it's not public right of way.
Got it. Cool. Anything else from anybody? Thank you all very much. Again, this is great. I love it when people show up. You guys make your voice heard, and we get things done. On that note, we will adjourn. Thank you very much. Sorry to